Welcome back, Cardboard Warriors. How's everybody out there doing today? So it's been a while since I've been able to make a draft video. I've just been kind of busy here. I got some irons in the fire getting hot. Could be some big news coming soon. We'll see. Anyways, I've done 2 drafts the past couple weekends and drafted totally different decks. So it's like a tale of 2 decks type thing here because we're going to do both in one video. I'll try and go through it as quick as I can. I do have a promo pack to open and some promos to show you that are the current, I guess, Wizards promos for events. But anyways, so a couple weeks ago I drafted and these are from 2 different stores too, which is what explains the different prizes. I ended up drafting at one store a red-green deck because at the pre-release, I was beat by a red-green deck running these 2 cards. And when I came across them really early in a draft, I was like, oh, let's give it a shot. I've always loved red-green. It's one of my first favorite color combos back in the day, back in the revised era. And so I've always had a soft spot in my heart for red-green. So, and I knew that green and red are not terribly popular in this set, so I was like, well, I'll probably get some good picks out of it. So let's give it a shot. The Roaring Earth, whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Plus, it's got channel 2 and X, but X 1/1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 green spirit creature with haste. It's still land. So this one, it's got a lot of value for 2 mana, and it's a permanent enchantment, stays out there with landfall on it. So you're always pumping counters on stuff, and there's so many cards that are affected by counters on creatures in this set. It just has good synergy if you get it going right. And then the Invigorating Hot Spring, of course, enters the battlefield with 4 1/1 counters on it. Modified creatures you control have haste. Remove a 1/1 counter from it. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Activate as a sorcery once a turn. So you can start splashing counters pretty heavily on your creatures with these. Obviously, it's not for the beginners because you do need to use a lot of strategy with where to put the counters to use them most effectively. And you've also got to keep creatures in play. And that was the one problem I had with this deck, was that there's so much removal in this set. It was hard to keep creatures in play to splash the counters on. So in a constructed deck, these 2 would probably be one hell of a combo with, some Ozoliths and stuff in there. But as far as a draft, I didn't do as well as I thought I would. I did okay. I went 2-2, I believe, and finished like, I don't know, 4 or 5 out of 8 players. It was a smaller draft, so, but not as well as I'd hope it would do. I didn't get a lot of support for the counters either, though. I didn't get a lot of the creatures that add counters and stuff. And like I said, I had an issue with a lot of removal against me. I got a Springleaf Avenger for 1 rare. Lizard Blades, great card. I love these creatures that can reconfigure his equipment. They're so good. Such a great idea. Weaver of Harmony, of course. Other enchantment creatures get +1/+1, and then you can copy activated or triggered abilities from an enchantment source and choose new targets. So you can actually double up the counters with the Weaver of Harmony. If I'd have gotten a few more of those, that probably would have been really handy. I think I only got them into play once, and he got removed right away. Reinforced Ronin. Really cool. Hasting 2/2 for 1. You do have to return it to your hand, but you can also use him as a discard and draw if he's just not being effective at all. But a little 2-drop kind of shock with feet. He's fun. And the rabbit. The rabbit is incredible. I love the rabbit. Haste 1/1, and you can reconfigure for 1 red. That is great for a 1-drop. This guy's a beast. Spinning Wheel Kick. If I'd have gotten a lot more of these, I think I would have been a lot more effective. This one's pretty powerful card. It's just a fight spell, but you can do it across multiple creatures at one time. So 1 card, you get multiple kills out of it. It costs a little bit of mana. You got the 2 to start, and then 2 for each creature you want to hit, but it is a very effective card. In fact, in the last draft with that deck, I lost in the final round to somebody who drafted like 3 of these in their deck, and they just kept wiping me out. I was building up and going strong, and then they wiped me out. So Web spinner just for the reach, really. Is the only reason I got that one, because there's a lot of flyers in this set. I was grabbing as many ninjutsu cards as I could, because I love the ninjutsu mechanic, and it's a real big help in draft. That element of surprise is awesome. Bronze plate boar, he did okay. The additional lands, I was having mana trouble like I always do. Bozeju with the enchantment, it becomes the creature there. This guy's a real beast if you're getting enough land, but I was having some land problems with this deck in a lot of the games. Flame discharges for some removal. I had quite a few artifacts, so I threw this in there. It didn't really help as much as I'd hoped. He would usually get killed before I could even throw something else out to pump him up, because I didn't have enough artifacts to really make it effective. Another ninja. The preserver, put a 1/1 counter on a creature. A few more of these might have helped. I didn't get him out very often because he's kind of expensive, and this is kind of a quicker draft. This guy, though, was out in every game just putting in work. This guy is awesome. A 1-drop, 1/1 death touch. A few more of these would have really helped. If I could have gotten an army of these with the counters on them, oh, that would have been so much fun. Another stalker, just in the different art. The Kanai. Kanai's okay, but it is kind of slow and kind of bulky for removal. I definitely prefer just a removal spell. Oh, I did get 2 of those. That's why I got them out in every game. And Kami's Flare, and Cultivation, another Kanai, and Master's Rebuke. So this one, I would have liked to have gotten a lot more for some more control in the game, but I was getting, I was just getting outmanned because I was getting hit with a lot of removal. There's just so much removal. I actually pulled 3 Kanais. I did have an extra one. I went down to 2 after a couple of games because they weren't fast enough. These are the cards that I didn't end up using. I probably should have used him just so I could have gotten the discount on the spells and the menace. This guy is actually really effective. I regret not putting him in the deck. He probably would have been a lot better than some of the others. This one's pretty good. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Really good. I ended up getting 2 of them. I really wanted to put them in the deck, but I just didn't feel I had room for them. Ambitious Assault is really good. You get to draw the card, plus all your creatures get +2. I wanted to put that in there again, but I just wanted to go a little more creature heavy in the deck and not, because I wanted to splash those counters, and I think it was just my own fault. I could have built the deck a whole lot better with some of these cards, but I had this idea of using the splashing counters. Eater of Virtue. I didn't have a lot of cards with a lot of good abilities that I thought would come in handy enough to put that in there. But like I said, this was really my mistake. If I used some of these cards in the deck and just not been so concerned about wanting to use the counters, because I love counters, I probably could have done a lot better with it. So with that draft, I did end up getting a promo pack, and we'll open that now. Seeing how that was from that deck. We'll open this and see if we get anything exciting. And what do we got? We got the Shigeki, the Jukai Visionary, with the promo stamp there. We got the Silver Fur Master, which is funny. That's he was the reason I went ninjas with that deck. He's right on top there. He was my pack 1, pick 1, and the second one. And Academic Probation. Okay, there we go. So Strixhaven. I don't think anybody's really too concerned with that one. It is a lesson card, though. Lessons are getting a little attention because they are pretty powerful. Alright, so there's our promo pack for that one. So the second one, I went ninjas, of course, because this was my pack 1, pick 1. First pack, I found this guy. I was already wanting to go ninjas, and I was thinking I wanted to go black and white, and I'll tell you why when we get to the card in there. But I ended up going blue and black because I pulled this guy in the beginning. I was tempted to go 3 colors, but I ended up just going 2. I almost went mono. Probably should have gone mono. But with this guy, he's just a ninja lord. 2-drop, 2/2 with ninjutsu abilities. You activate, cost 1 less to activate. Other ninja and rogue creatures you control get +1/+1. He did help me win some games. He was very effective when I got him out. I didn't get him out as often as I wanted. Biting Palm Ninja was my second pack, I believe. or second, like, grab this one, and then this came next. Somebody passed me that one. So he's okay. He's not that great. I don't like him. I'm not. He's okay. 3 for 3/3. It's break even. He does come with a menace counter, and you can make somebody. He's basically got a built-in thought seize. But anyways, I got a lot of removal in this one, which really helped. But the removal's a little bit slow in black, actually. I got a Gravelighter. He put in some work, especially with the ninjas. You know, I'd ninjutsu him back out to my hand and recast him again, get rid of the threats. Twisted Embrace, I ended up pulling 3 of them. They're really good card, but it is a little bit pricey. And the 2 black pips, of course, you got to worry about color lock, which I did happen a couple times. I sat with 1 or 2 of these in my hand and couldn't cast them because I didn't have enough swamps in play, even though I went real heavy on the swamps because there's more black than blue in here. Debt to the Kami. This one's pretty good. It works decent, especially because there's so many enchantment creatures. If they've got a regular creature and an enchantment creature, you can make them. You can choose which one you actually get rid of, but you know, that's a lot of odds you have to stack in your favor to be able to do that. So it's more of a, they're just going to sack their weakest link. And you know, it did come in handy quite a bit, but I would have liked a little more specific removal. The Life Up to 0 Mizawa, actually, I was able to use that a few times as removal for 1 toughness creatures. The little -1/-1. Of course, the gain life or the +2/+2. You can either do that final little bit of damage, or you can stay around for another turn to try and win the game. Really good card. I definitely grab him whenever I'm running black. The creature itself is not that effective. By the time you get him flipped, you probably got enough mana for most of the stuff, because I tend to not use a lot of big stuff. This guy was my hero of the deck. He was the hero of the deck last time I ran ninjas. He did really good for me, and I only had 1 of them. So this time I actually drafted 3 of this guy. Everybody was passing him. I'm like, why are people passing this? This guy is so good. A 2-drop ninja for 3/2 with a 3/2 lifelink. Oh, he's so good. Yeah, I grabbed every one of him that went by. He was my priority pick. For the most part, I think I picked a removal over him one time because I'd already pulled 3 and 1 more came by. So you will see a lot of these, and they are so good in draft. Lifelink is huge because, you know, a lot of games I've lost came down to if I had 1 more life, I would have won. You know, so Moon Snare Specialists, got 2 of those. They're great, being able to ninjutsu them in. 3 for 2/2 is not that great, but you get to boomerang one of their, or unsummon one of their creatures. Or you can bring one of yours back, because you have to have an unblocked creature, so one of your creatures is probably going to get blocked. So you can use this to save your blocked creature when you bounce them in. So pretty cool. Moon Circuit Hacker, this guy is excellent little card. Ninjutsu for 1 for 2, great value there, but then you also get to draw a card if you ninjutsu him in, and you don't have to discard. So awesome little guy there. I was popping him in and out every other turn pretty much. Automated Artificers, I always grab these because they help cheapen the they help you get that extra mana to cast things really quick. So I can, you know, cast him on turn 2, and then on turn 3 I can drop 4 drops instead of 3 drops. So I always grab some of these guys, and they're great for, because they're a 1/3, a lot of time, you know, you're facing 2/2s at this stage of the game. When you get him out, your opponent probably has 2/2s over there. So there's a lot of 2/2s in this set. So he puts in a lot of work being a 1/3. He can block most stuff, or you can send him over and not have to worry about him dying, trying to get one of your other creatures through as an unblocked, or a lot of times because he's only got 1 power, they won't block him, and then you can ninjutsu in your other creatures. So, of course, the Reckoner Raid, one of my favorite cards in the set, a 1-drop that draining gains for 2 turns and then becomes a 2/2 menace, which gives all your vehicles menace too, but menace is big in draft. Draft and sealed menace really helps because, you know, if you got a decent amount of removal, which black does, then you can usually get them down to just 1 creature, and then they can't block you. And then you can ninjutsu in your big stuff, like this guy, the 5/5 for 4, one of my favorite ninjas in black in the set. 4-drop 5/5 ninja, just, they don't see it coming. On turn 4, bang for 5. They don't see it coming. It's great. And then you got a 5/5 beast out there for the rest of the game. And then the Prowler, he's alright. He gives you ninjutsu him in for 2. He gives you 3 points of damage, which is nice. 1 toughness, which doesn't matter if you're ninjutsuing him in because he's unblocked. And then you also give one of your other creatures Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. So the creature that did get blocked, you can kill theirs and gain some life off of it. So he's a lot of good value. The Silencer, just a little bit more removal. 2-drop, 2/2 ninja. That when he deals combat damage to a player, he can discard a creature card and destroy target creature or planeswalker they control. I just didn't get him in play a lot, so he didn't help too much. Infiltrator, flying, gotta have flying and pumpable. He was really good for me. The flying helps a lot with the ninjas. Of course, the Searchlight Companion, he brings in that extra 1/1 that you can send over, and it's probably not going to get blocked because nobody cares about a token. Then you ninjutsu in one of your creatures, and then you if it's the blue one there that lets you unsummon a creature, you can pick him back up, cast him again, and get another token. So, Chainfall Centipede, of course. He gets he's reconfigured for 2, just a little pump guy. I don't think I got him in a play once, maybe once, and he got killed right away. So I did okay with that one. I went 2 and 2. I almost went 3 and 1. I just my opponent, we were 1 and 1, and in the third game I had it locked. I had like 5 damage on board, and they only have 1 life, and I even had a blocker for their creature. They pulled that they were playing red-green, and they pulled the removal there, the spinning wheel kick, got rid of my creature, and was able to come in and pump their creature up on top of that and do some lethal damage to me right at the end there. The cards, I actually had this in the deck at the beginning, and they did have to sack a lot of creatures to it, or discard a lot of cards. I did get a lot of cards out of hand and a lot of creatures off the board with this one, but it just seemed like most of the games I was holding on to it because it cost 4, and it wasn't as effective as I hoped. It was doing more discard than getting rid of creatures, so I ended up pulling it out and putting something else in towards the end there. You're Already Dead. I didn't stack it. I probably should have, but I ended up deciding to go with the definite removal instead of the maybe removal, but the card draw would have helped a lot, and I'm pretty sure this card would have helped me quite a bit. I probably should have put it in there. I did get a Kanai, but like I said, I got a lot of faster removal, so I didn't put that in there. And a couple other things. This guy I really wanted to stack in there. I just didn't feel like he would have been as effective because of the reconfigure 4, but there's so much removal, I probably should put him in there to just get the ward on my creatures, because I was getting removed a lot. I got the Sentinel, Crew 3. I'm just not big on the vehicles. I got another prototype, the 5 to get rid of a permanent would have been okay, but I felt like I had enough removal in there already. The Koi flying would have been great, but 4 for a 3/3. I just didn't think it was as effective as some of the other cards. Incursion, Short Circuit, and then here's just some of the other stuff that got past me. Here's why I wanted to go black and white originally, because I saw somebody use this combo in an earlier draft the week before there. I played against somebody who had drafted like 3 of these and a bunch of ninjas, and they kept sending him over and then ninjaing him out and then recast them. So they kept getting card draw like every turn. It seemed like every turn they were getting card draw from these guys. So I really wanted to kind of use that combo and try it out. But I only got 1 of these, and I didn't get a whole lot of more white. I did get 2 of these 1-drop flyers that do tap down creatures, so it was really tempting to go white, but I just felt blue was a little stronger. And the Warring Invention, great removal for a draft, but I only got 1 of them, and I got 1 Repel the Vial, which is also a really good removal in draft, and then the Lucky Offering. So I did get some good removal in white. I just didn't think I had enough to be stronger than the blue, and I didn't want to go 3 colors, so I ended up, I was tempted to go mono black at the beginning, and I don't know how that would have worked, but the little blue ninjas were really good, and then the silver fur, of course, was awesome. Anyways, that event, I ended up finishing 8th out of 16. I would have finished in the top 4, except I lost that last round. So I ended up going 2 and 2 overall. I got a Faithful Absence and a Consider, which Faithful Absence is one of my favorite cards out of, I think it was Midnight Hunt, wasn't it? Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller investigates for 2. Great removal card. Really good, especially there's so many people running a lot of planeswalkers these days. Really good removal card. I really like that one. And then Consider, of course, we know that one's doing a bang up job in the little red blue spell decks. So there you go. That's what I drafted. That's how it worked out. Let me know what you guys drafted, how you did, what you got, how you finished, and what you think I should have done with those decks, or how if I should have gone a different way with them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really appreciate your time. Check out the description. A lot of good links down there. Save you money, get your cash back on all your purchases. It's all legit. It's all real. I use them all. I wouldn't put anything down there that I didn't trust and didn't use. So thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.